Hey, Captain Logos here, preacher at large, teaching the word and inspiring 3 minutes at a time. Hey, if you know where I'm standing, go ahead and make a comment. Unfortunately, for those that aren't from my hometown, they probably won't figure it out. But anyway, let me talk about faith a little bit. Remember David and Goliath in the Bible? Right? And the two armies. Here's one thing you have to know about that battle. Well, the Philistines had metal. They had swords and spears. And the Israelites, they had like two, right? The king's armor was the only armor that was available to David. There wasn't any other armor to try on and see if he could get a smaller size. But David just did what David did, what David was trained to do, right? But here's the other thing that we don't hear a lot about. And we know that David had faith, right? But the thing about David's faith is you have to understand that he was a shepherd. That means he was a preteen, because if he was a teen, he'd have been in that battle with his brothers, right? And so I believe that David, being as young as he was, still had the childlike faith. And when people told him what was going on, he said, wait a second, why is this Philistine doing this? He was still young enough and just had that freshness of his faith about him that he just believed. There was no doubt, because this is what he'd been taught. He was still at that age where fear didn't grip him, right? He just did. He was told that God was real, that God would win the battles. He believed it. He went forward, grabbed a stone, threw it, and won the battle simply because of faith, that God would intervene. So I have to ask you this morning, how's your faith? Is it aged with lots of fear and experience? Or is it still that youthful faith that you know that God will come through for even you? Now, look at your face in the Bible.